Ms. James, if you would, do the invocation. Mr. Child, lead us in the pledge.
Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for giving us another day today. We thank you for this city and its citizens. We thank you for this week as the young boys have come together to be in the tournament. We pray that you keep them safe from harm. And as all the children return to school this year, we pray that you keep them safe. And we thank you for our teachers. We appreciate what they do for our children. Lord, we thank you for this council. We thank you for our city manager, our city attorney, and our mayor. We pray that all the decisions we make today will be done in the right manner to the best of our knowledge. And finally, Lord, we pray for our country. We pray for the leaders of our country. We ask that you be with them so that they make the right decisions that we may keep our freedoms that we have now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is the reading of the minutes of the previous council meeting. If members of the council have had an opportunity to review these, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda, communications from the mayor. The dog days of summer are here. Encourage everybody to, number one, if you can, stay in where it's cool. If you're gonna be outside, make sure you stay hydrated. It's, these temperatures, especially Saturday, is something else. How in the world Mr. Crawford and those kids survived? I drove around up there after the sun went down, I still miserable. I don't know how those kids managed to do it out here today. I guess youth does have a little bit of effect on that. Next item on the agenda is zoning matters, we have none. Next item on the agenda is ordinances. Ordinance number 1, first reading of ordinance number 2017-05. Mr. Stokes.
Mr. Mayor, we have a request to strike this item from the agenda.
Okay. I have a motion to strike.
Make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ordinance number 2017-05 has been stricken from the record. Next item, ordinance number 2, second reading of ordinance number 2017-04. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2017-04, annexation be is ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Port Oakville, Georgia, and it is hereby ordained by authority thereof, section 1. The following property owned by Donald Eugene Beck, known as 472 French Street, lots 8 and 9, A.E. French subdivision, map 0002F069, Rossville, Georgia 30741, is hereby annexed into the city of Port Oakville. Said property being more particularly described as Exhibit A, same being on file with the clerk of the city of Port Oakville for inspection.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Next item on the agenda is resolutions. We have none. Next item is unfinished business. We have none. Next item is reading of the city clerk of any communications. We have none. Next item on the agenda is new business. Article 1, proposed approval of purchase design services for City Hall. Ms. Cindy.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This item is a recommendation from city staff to purchase professional design services for the City Hall facility from Ross Andrews Architects Incorporated in the amount of $8,740. The design is for approximately 35,000 square feet in the existing facility. The entire facility is about 60,000 square feet. However, a lessee occupies a portion of that space. The facility is used for city administrative offices, police headquarters, and municipal court. It's also used for public meetings, including city council meetings. While the facility provides acceptable office space for city administration, it is not an efficient space for public services. What we'd like to do is explore options for a conceptual design as a whole. And that, once the design is completed, it would be up to city council to prioritize and fund different renovation options that result. That's all.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkin. Have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Article 2, proposed approval to replace 20-ton HVAC unit. Ms. Simpkins?
Mayor and City Council, we have a request to strike this item from the agenda to provide for additional time on research for the best solution.
Have a motion to strike.
Make a motion.
Second, sir.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Is this the same item we struck last meeting?
Yes, sir.
Is it gonna have to be replaced?
Yes, sir. The question is, do we replace it with a similar unit, or is there a different solution that will work better for the entire building and all of its occupants and tenants? We've had a couple different discussions with some different professionals who say there might be a better solution. So we'd like to explore that before making a firm recommendation.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Article number 3, MOU from Police Department. Chief Help.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. I have before you today a memorandum of understanding for law enforcement traffic detail agreement. You already have in place a standard operation agreement between yourself and the sheriff's office. It's a law enforcement mutual aid agreement. But in review of that, in review of the specific project that's going to be taking place on Highway 151 in Ringgold, the widening, the bridge raising between Holcomb Road and the CVS there on Highway 41. That specific project just did not fit what you already have existing. For liability's sake, I talked with the sheriff, Chief Bilbrey, and asked that they would draw up the specific detailed agreement so that it is addressing the exact item that we need to cover the city in the most thorough fashion. As you're aware, I'm sure, off at exit 348, this project is already being marked. You'll see those barrels all over the interstate as well as Highway 151. It's expected to begin soon. The sheriff requests this law enforcement aid because it's much larger traffic detail than his agency can possibly handle. So this agreement is between this city, the city of Ringgold, and the sheriff's office, and he's probably going to enlist other agencies as well. It's supposed to be a project that ends in 2018, but I think we all know how projects can be extended. This agreement covers a period of 3 years. Your standard mutual aid agreement is more of a design for emergency call basis. If they need help, we go out of the jurisdiction and help, or if they need an item, we go provide an item, and vice versa. They come to us in times of calls. This need will be extensive, and it just needed something more thorough. It will detail a payment system. It details responsibilities of officers. The contractor is going to be paying off-duty officers themselves. It gets quite extensive in responsibility and things that your basic agreement could not detail. It's basically an off-duty job, but it's with thorough detail, and it has all the liabilities and items that need to be covered for the city's sake. Mr. Stoltz has verified that, his review of it. The copy you have before you would not be the one we would ask to be signed. We sent the final one back to the sheriff. It had a few grammatical things we need to correct, but legal-wise, it's exact. We'd like to present that for approval.
Thank you, Chief Elton. Have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I read the article that you got in here, so again, it's no liability whatsoever.
It will protect the city should something happen. There's procedures laid out that will explain if something happens, you notify each person involved. It's just as if something were to happen on our highway, except this covers us more thorough. If we were operating under our basic memorandum of understanding or law enforcement mutual aid agreement, if we're called on a call to go out, we're going to be covered with all those liabilities from just responding. But if we enter into a possible 3-year agreement, we needed something more thorough to cover. So we'll still have that same coverage. We just wanted specificity.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Article 4, under new business, proposed approval of appointment to the DDA board. Ms. Simmons.
Mayor and council, the city adopted a resolution on February 10th of 1997 establishing the Downtown Development Authority of the city of Port Oglethorpe. It was established due to the need in the city for revitalization and redevelopment of the central business district of the city. It's a 7-member board. Not less than 4 must either have or represent a party who has an economic interest in the redevelopment and revitalization in the downtown development area. This is a request and recommendation from the Downtown Development Authority to appoint Chris McKeever to this council in Jerry Dipkin's place, and also to reappoint Karen Goodland. So we're moving forward with items A and B tonight.
You're moving forward with just the top 2, is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second, sir.
Have a motion and a second. Any question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda, city manager report.
I would just like to take some time to thank city staff and also city council members for all the time and dedication that they put into the Rick Honeycutt World Series over the weekend. I had the opportunity to go to see some of the opening ceremonies, and what an amazing event for those kids. And I know that it takes a tremendous amount of time. So just a special thank you to city council and city staff for making that happen. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Jenkins. City council comments and business, Mr. Rogers.
I don't have anything today, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Crawford.
Yeah, I'd just like to echo what he was saying in the World Series. We had 65 teams total, ranging from 6-year-olds all the way up to the 14-year-olds. And so that was right at about 700 plus kids, and not counting families and stuff that's in the city between Jack Maddox Fields and our ballpark up here at Barnhart Circle. The only really major complaints we had was the heat, which, I mean, that's nothing we can do about that. But I'd like to just thank especially the Honeycutt family we got to sit with Mr. and Mrs. Honeycutt Friday night and discuss a lot of things with them, and Rick, who's always went above and beyond for the kids and the youth in this community. And if it wasn't for them, we definitely couldn't do this. But also all the many volunteers that we get, and especially what blows my mind is the city employees that rallied around this thing. I mean, we had several. Brian Perry spent all day Friday videotaping the opening ceremony, so the public could see the people here. We've had several employees like Jeff Long, the Public Works Director, Rec Director. We even know he's on the clock. His wife worked gate, and he was up there countless hours. Blue Smith, Mark Coe, these are all, Robert Keith, these are all city employees that spent their whole Saturday and Sunday on their own time up there 12 hours at a time working. So that's what makes it special, is whenever you get your employees buying in and seeing the special thing and want to be a part of something. But that's, and all the teams are coming. We appreciate it. It's a big event for our community. That's it.
Mr. Crawford, Mr. Childs,
No comments tonight, Mr. Mayor.
you, Ms. Stinnie.
Yes, sir. Vintage baseball. You have 2 more opportunities, Saturday, August the 12th and Saturday, August the 26th. All played at Barnhart Circle and for that free family fun here in Fort Oglethorpe. School's about to start, and thank you, Ms. James, for recognizing teachers in your prayer. I appreciate that. But parents, guardians, you need to go on to www.gadoe.org. Check out ESSA. That's Every Student Succeeds Act. That is replacing past methodology of schools, and you'll need to check that out and know about that before your student goes back to school. Special guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Math teacher extraordinaire, retired from LFO High School, Miss Mary Stevens. Miss Mary,
Okay, I'm Mary Stevens. I graduated from Lakeview High School in 1966. I taught at Lakeview and Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe High School, Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe Comprehensive High School, for 30 years. Now, as you can have already mentioned, we have some amazing young people in this community. And every year, Georgia Northwestern presents one $250 scholarship to a student at Lakeview at class night. And I've talked with the counselor who's in charge of the scholarships, and we're looking at having a second scholarship of $250. Not a great amount of money, but would start a young person on their career. I talked to Paul about this last spring, and since then we did 2 extras this year. So 3 young people got scholarships to Georgia Northwestern in 2017. In 2018, we'd like to do another one, and I think I've already got the money lined up for it. I just talk to people, they ask me what I'm doing, I tell them I'm raising money for a scholarship. And so $250 would get a young person started out on a career. I mean, it doesn't take much at all. They spend 6 months to a year at Georgia Northwestern and they have a career that makes more money than some people with 4-year diplomas. And I would like for the mayor or members of the council to present that scholarship at class night so that the young people of the community get to meet y'all. See, I know a number of you. And I would like for them to get to know you and be involved in the activities in this community. I think that pretty much covers it.
Thank you.
Ms.
Thank you for
Mary,
coming.
as always, it's a privilege to have you here. And last note, this morning on my way up the corridor, I was cut off by a van from Hobgood, Georgia, full of kids, Cherokee County, and they were pulling in to go shoe shopping at a local retailer on the corridor. So the economic impact that bringing these tournaments to Fort Oglethorpe on our entertainment, our restaurants, on our retailers is dynamic. Thank you again, Craig, and all your crew. Mayor, that's all I got.
Ms. James.
I don't know anything.
Next item on the agenda is citizens petitions and requests. We have none. Executive session, we have none. Next item is adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.